Yeah guys, welcome back to the channel. When you hear this most beautiful bell sound in the world ringing behind you, it means an Urban Aero family is on its way. As you may know from my previous pizza and tech videos, I like good and long-lasting products. Today I'd like to introduce you to one of the outstanding products I've bought and owned over the last years. This is the Urban Aero family cargo bike. We bought it 5 years ago when our second kid was born. In the meantime, we have 3 kids and the bike still performs perfect. When it comes down to the bottom line of cargo bikes, it is all about how well the thing can carry kids and loads and how well you can still ride it heavy loaded. But before we get into this, I'd like to share the little details of the bike that make it so great. I'll list the tech specs here in a short list for you to check it out if you're interested. Actually, the main reason I bought a cargo bike was that I wanted to talk back to my kids on the bike. I was somehow sick of screaming back to the stroller and not hearing a word that comes back from the kids. So this is really one of the top features. You can ride relaxed and hear the kids talk and have the possibility to interfere in the occasional quarrel. You need the electric assistance if you live in a hilly terrain like we do here. You can ride it easily without it, the additional power of an electric motor in flatlands. Though it is convenient to have it, I actually never ran out of battery during the whole time I owned this bike. You just don't go that far of a distance with this kind of a bike, and the battery usually, with my kind of use, lasts a week or so. But I have to admit that I like to pedal without the motor just for fitness. When you first get on the bike, it feels a little strange to the ordinary two-wheel bike user, but you get used to it super quickly. Actually, I've tried some of the cargo bikes available prior to buying this one, but I felt immediately at home on the Urban Aero. But it's best to try it out, of course, for yourself. Just make sure to get a cargo bike with 2 wheels and do not make the mistake to get one with 3 wheels. The more wheels a bike has, the more rolling resistance occurs and it has the need for more maintenance. Shimano disc brakes are super solid and slow down the bike fast even when fully loaded. The seat can be adjusted to fit even tall people like me with my 190 centimeters comfortably. The NuVinci gear hub has a gear ratio of 380% and is well suitable for any terrain. You get up the steepest hills with a low gear when pedaling hard, and you ride fast with a high gear set in flatlands. Since it is a continuous gear set with no fixed settings, it's always easy to find the right gear. The motor stops supporting when you reach 25 kilometers per hour. The max cruising speed that I find great is between 25 and 30 kilometers an hour in flat terrain, though the bike feels still safe when riding down a hill with 40 kilometers an hour or so. I would not recommend, though, to go faster than this. Steering is always an issue on a cargo bike. The Urban Aero has a rubber band that makes the front wheel move to the left and to the right. This may seem a little flabby, and to be honest, it was one of my biggest concerns when buying it, but I never had any troubles with it in real life. Of course, without any load, the bike is super easy to handle, just like any larger or heavier bike. Since the Urban Aero is a two-wheeler, it is still quite easy to handle when loaded because the balance point is very low. When fully loaded, you need to keep an eye on the weight and on the balance. The bike is equipped with a 2-foot stand just like the ones you'd find on a motorcycle. It has a solid flex back mechanism when you just push the bike forward. It provides a solid stand for the bike on a flat surface. Double check the stand if you have a somehow uneven terrain where you have to park the vehicle. The rain cover keeps the kids dry in rain and the wind stays out on cold and windy days. It even prevents a bit of the rain from the driver's legs. It's easy to install and to remove, and I absolutely would recommend this accessory. In general, you have great kids accessories for this bike. The kids bench is great, and there are 2 seat belts mounted on the frame. We also had the baby shell holder, which was great to get the babies to sleep. Service and maintenance are not like with the ordinary 2-wheel bike. This starts with the gear hub that is a sealed planetary hub. You cannot do anything with it without any knowledge, but it seems quite maintenance free at last for my 2,400 kilometers. You may change the oil from time to time here and renew the shifting rope, but this hasn't been the case for me yet. There is no chain rub due to the planetary gear hub. It is also quite tricky to get out the rear tire from the frame to change brake pads or renew the tube. So you better get one of these special tubes that you can put in without having to unmount the rear tire completely. I always take one of these with me. The rest is quite straightforward. Some grease on the seat post from time to time. Always the right tire pressure. I usually go with 3.8 bars on the front and on the back. So if you're a bike mechanic, you may do the service yourself. I decided to give it to the bike store at least once in a year, since the safety of the bike is critical, especially when carrying kids. The safety lock is super useful. You can use it to unlock the battery for the motor as well. Take away the operating unit and no one can move this heavy beast anywhere. The only damage I really had in these 5 years was when I carried a full propane tank with 23 kilograms in the front of the cargo space and hit a pavement edge unexpectedly with 10 kilometers per hour. The steering holder was broken, but it actually is a small piece of plastic and it had no real effect on riding, since this part only keeps the steering tube from the frame. The bike shop repaired it on the next service without any effort. So let's get back to the bottom line of this family truck, getting loads and kids from A to B. Whether you carry the weekly groceries, go on a trip with the kids to the lake, take a baby for an early ride, or just get something very heavy loaded and packed to carry it, the Urban Aero really handles anything you throw at it. The kids love it. We are riding it actually with all 3 kids, where our 7-year-old daughter sits on the rear rack and uses the seat handle to hold herself. We even made it a birthday party truck for the 1st birthday of our son. So if you're interested in getting one of these bike trucks, be it for environmental responsibility, on purpose, or just for fun, the Urban Aero should be on your short list anyway. And maybe one day you're the one making this lovely, most beautiful ding-dong sound in the world. If you like this video and my other videos here on the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe.